Karate versus kickboxing. Which is better and who would win? Karate and kickboxing both have their merits as martial arts and would prove useful in a fight, especially against an untrained opponent. However, when pitted against each other, which would come out on top? Who would win? Let's start by looking at the origins and philosophies of both crafts. Karate developed in the Chinese regions and then traveled to Japan to flourish. The ban on all weapons provoked the natives to study hand-to-hand combat. The teachings were held in complete secrecy, usually at night. As we know it today, karate comes in a straight line from two combat systems, shurate and nahate. These arts were a passive defense of the islanders against invaders' attacks, Japanese warriors with armed swords. The training mainly trains the efficiency and strength of arms and legs, used both in attack and defense. Karate training teaches you to synchronize all body movements, such as jumping, balancing, hitting, and blocks. Often in extreme fatigue, the adept learns to perform the training techniques subconsciously and mechanically as unconditional reflexes. Karateka learns how their willpower controls the techniques and directs them straight to the target with control and maximum speed and strength. The essence of karate techniques is kime. Kime is where mind, body, and spirit meet with intent, from the core of your being to the point of delivery. In Western terms, kime is the ability to deliver power to target rapidly. Thus, hard karate training transforms various parts of the body into weapons. You learn how to use them deliberately and effectively as training progresses. Initially, the fight in karate was a life and death confrontation. That was simply due to the circumstances around its genesis. Back then, there were no restrictions such as the zone excluded from the attack, forbidden strokes, or marking blows. It seems logical considering that the attacker against whom the karate adepts defended had to be at least virtually incapacitated so that their attack would cease. Kickboxing. It isn't easy to establish kickboxing's origin. Apparently, this sport discipline comes from Thai boxing, Muay Thai. Other sources point to a direct relationship with karate, kung fu, and taekwondo. One thing is for sure, the Japanese and American kickboxing styles have gone down different development routes on their respective continents. Japanese kickboxing. Osamu Noguchi, a Japanese boxing promoter in Japan and Kyokushin karate trainer, often traveled to Southeast Asia to organize boxing fights. In that part of Asia, Muay Thai was triumphant thanks to its effectiveness in combat. Noguchi and another Japanese Kyokushin karate trainer, Kenji Kurosaki, studied Thai boxing thoroughly, perfected training methods, added spiritual elements, and leg techniques. Thus, he developed a new martial art called kickboxing. Kicks, punches, knees, and elbows were allowed in the fight, as well as throws and blows of the head. In later years, the latter two techniques were abandoned. American kickboxing. The history of kickboxing in the United States is slightly different from the path covered by Japanese kickboxing. The limitations in karate fights consisted of non-contact combat. It was required to avoid hitting the opponent and simultaneously rely on judges' scoring caused a search for another form of fighting. People craved a sport where you could demonstrate how to use your fists and legs in real combat effectively. That is how full contact karate was created. Its precursor was Mike Anderson, a former karateka. Here, punches and kicks were allowed up to the opponent's knockout. The fights went on without age categories, without protectors on typical karate mats, later replaced by the ring. The introduction of clear rules and the introduction of protective equipment influenced the dynamic development of kickboxing. Kickboxing and karate are martial arts that seem quite similar. They both focus on developing holistic skill development, such as strength, speed, and endurance. John McCarthy, a famous MMA judge, recently said that kickboxing is the sport of our generation. Well said, but not entirely true. Let's start with the fact that karate has become an Olympic discipline with its thousands years tradition. And even if Olympic gold means less today than it did years ago, it doesn't matter. Kickboxing derives from karate, so does it mean it's automatically superior because it's same but better? Kickboxing basis is a myriad of rhythmic strikes and kick combos. These flows are delivered in an ultra-fast manner, so if your defense can take it, you might be a worthy opponent. What about 100 kumite? Sosei Masutatsu Oyama introduced the 100 kumite test to Kyokushin karate. It involves fighting 100 3-minute fights, one after the other. Oyama fought over 100 opponents for 3 consecutive days, winning all duels. This feat was supposed to manifest the enormous inner strength that is gained through training. And perhaps above all, the realization that your spiritual power allows you to do things unimaginable for the average person. If you possess this kind of grit, you're unstoppable. Karate can be as hard as kickboxing. Masutatsu Oyama did not attach as much importance to practicing kata as in other styles. He emphasized hard, very realistic karate and fighting skills and training, toughness, and the ability to take it on the chin and endure physical pain. That, in turn, helps to build up pain resistance, which is often perceived as information rather than something that controls you. In kumite combat, or the freestyle karate fighting, contact is allowed except for the head and neck. Suppose your karate fighting style is limited to these classical rules. In that case, you might not be able to defend yourself against the skillfully delivered head kicks and punches of a well-trained kickboxer. Equally, if your endurance is no match to the fortitude of a karateka, you might be on the losing side there. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments. Remember to leave a like and share this video. Subscribe if you're new around here, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with our uploads. Thanks for watching.